This isn't one that I covered, but we'll take a look at it. Everybody likes Norse versus Wood Elf matches. Battle of the Glass Cannons. Yeah, you might have missed it earlier. Jeez, I was just saying, I don't want to double up on anything. So if someone streams their own game, I'm probably not going to cover that. Just for my own time's sake as well. But also because, you know, drive views to the other streamers that are willing to stream their own games. So we are in the depths of REL Div 7. We're looking at Arkangell's Will. The Wood Elf team, I believe this is their second season, taking on Hiroto Sukara and his Norse Unleashed. And the Norse Unleashed were in 9A, I know from last season. And I remember them because they are the Agi Norse. Not to be confused with the Eisenmike's Norse or Iron Master's Norse. This one's a little bit different. 3 different Agi up Norsemen. One of them is the Berserker. This one's a lineman that has really been built into a ball carrier. Sure, he will get dodge eventually. But he's basically a expensive runner slash elf. We have a high kick deep into the Norse's pitch. See if Agi 4 can do a thing here. It does. I don't like that block path, but that's fine. I would have preferred... Oh, he's going to use Dauntless on the tree. Interesting. Oh, he's got the Yeti, too. Frenzy follow-up does get the stun. We actually make a blitz onto the tree with the Ulfhorner. Not using the Yeti or the Dauntless. We already have a couple based up Norsemen that were entirely avoidable had he chose different actions. And right away, ooh, a big foul onto the tree. Ironskin is injured, badly hurt. No Apo used. Hiroto Sukara had a plan going into this game, and it was get rid of that damn tree. And he just committed a lot to doing it and got away with it. And let's see what the punishment is coming back. It is a knocked out Norseman that was, again, entirely preventable. And another counter block. This one not punished. It's some deep pressure right away coming out of the elves as well. Re-rolling the GFI to get a guard on the ball. We have the War Dancer coming in from the other angle. Finds a POW after making 2 go for it. It gets the KO. These teams are playing fast and loose. And I like it. Not the way I'd play. But it is fun to watch. And the Berserker just casually catches in a tackle zone. No big deal. Agi 4, after all. Ulfhorner going for the War Dancer. A block tackle or Ulfhorner. I don't think I've seen that very often. If ever. Sidesteps off the ball carrier, which I think is an interesting choice. Reroll is already used on the GFI there. Had you been marking this guy, he wouldn't have been able to really get away without rolling a 2+ dodge. think I would have rather him left him marked. Not sure what the choice was to sidestep away there. Yeah, exactly. So we see him make a 2+. Still would have been 2+ on the dodge, but either way, more dice is better for making your opponent roll. And a nice casual dodge there from the Dauntless Runner. Jump up block used. 1 die into a 1 die. Again, going to be based up here. Going after the accurate strong arm thrower. This seems like any elf team can get an accurate strong arm thrower at will. And right away, we're seeing the blitz action used. Going after a different Agi 4-piece, not going after the ball here. Mighty Blow finds himself with a stun. Again, if I'm being honest, I don't like this line of play because you already had this guy based. So you just needed to provide an assist. You didn't need to use your blitz here. I really prefer teams to use their blitz on targets that are not based or not able to get an easy 2-die block unless there's some other greater reason for it. Freeing up the guard to go over here was not really what I would call a greater reason. But the Norse giving up lots of hits. And the double Mighty Blow War Dancers just finding KOs so far. First action blitz, right back onto this War Dancer. I like this one a bit more because it gives you follow-up blocks if you don't find the POW. He does get the knockdown, though, with the second block. That War Dancer's probably going to get a boot to the face, I had to guess. The only reason I don't like that first action blitz on this particular target, though, is it's not giving you any field position. The Elves do have a decent screen, and had you knocked over this guy, you would have had a decent spot in the middle of the pitch here. We do see the Norse kind of repositioning around. Unfortunately, though, they're going to be leaving a corner of their cage based. Less than ideal. 1 GFI to move over here. And casual dodge to kind of reinforce. Oh, there we go. Going for the foul. Gets the foul. Drist, go Undrin, is badly hurt. And the Apo is still not used. The 2 for 2 on huge fouls coming out of our Awen Lars. I am respecting this Norseman's foul game. 3 turns, 2 big fouls. Casual 1 die to open up the cage. Finds the knockout and the cage is open. Kicker will be coming in to make this block. This is a 1 die. Push rerolled into a push. I don't know that I like the reroll on this, especially when this guy doesn't have block or wrestle. I am grateful that I played the disclaimer video prior to this match. And we see a frenzy block. Does get the knockdown. Bases with the ball to get the 2-die assist. Does get the knockdown though, so he will not be punished for that. But the cage will again still be based. And the Yeti does as he pleases, opting not to do a damn thing. Instead of going for the cage dive play here, it looks like we are... Maybe we are going for the cage dive. No, we're not. We're going to attack the Agi 4 piece again. He really hates this piece. I don't know why. But Arkangell is after Bruhaka with a vengeance. This one particular Agi 4 piece, he has it out for him. I think the Elves have done a really good job of stalling this match the last couple turns just in the middle field there. Not allowing the Norse to get much advancement. Though I think this turn that will change. Could be wrong though. No damage onto the throw.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you, Red Joker, for the follow. Mighty Blow not doing a thing to the elf on the knockdown there. And unfortunately, he's going to have to use a reroll in order to keep this cage corner intact. There is still a very easy 2+ into a 1 die onto the ball carrier. Okay, that makes it a lot better. Dirty Player comes in again. And another remove. Oh my god, he's dead. There's the apple used. And that's not good enough. Strength bust for the strong arm accurate thrower. This fouling Dirty Player is on fire. 3 for 3 fouls, all of them casualties. One of them cost the Apo from a dead into a strength bust. Good God, look out for Awen Lars if you are in Division 7. I have not ever had that much luck with a single Dirty Player. Incredible. And no send-off either. The ref is loving every second of this. The anti-elf refs are definitely on the pitch today. I would be fairly tilted in Arkangel's place right now. Thankfully, though, these blocks are just not doing it for him. Only these fouls that he has to worry about, but eventually the blocks are going to start adding up too. Either way, the loose screen is knocked over. And they're just kind of going right around it because they gave him the sideline. It's going to be hard for the elves to get in there, but they can. They want to throw the dice at it. And another foul. Gets another removal. No send-off. Those are the foul dice that really just make this game unplayable sometimes. Oh, man. When your opponent has those foul dice, why would they ever stop either? Like, it's that momentum game, you know? And it's so often a thing in Blood Bowl where, you know, this match, if you played this match, this exact same match between these exact same teams, you played it 10 times, the one that swings the most, where you start getting casualties earlier and numbers earlier, ends up being even more bloody than another game where, you know, a similar amount of blocks are thrown, a similar amount of fouls are thrown, but because the early removals don't happen, it doesn't snowball the same way. Finding a pal onto the lineman. Kicker is only stunned. And in fact, okay, he is going to stall. I was worried he was going to score here. I'm going to see how these Norsemen check the ball here. It's fairly safe. At this point, I'd say the Vol is actually really safe. But there is a possible leap play, and in fact, probably going to see that leap play for a 1 die. No. Again, really hates this guy. And he does get his man. Bruhaka is injured after being the brunt of at least 3 blitzes that I saw. And he chooses to push in the score early. I like that. Don't let your opponent stall. Gonna lose that turn 8. Potentially getting another blitz. And the Wood Elves here are going to have a chance to one turn. A rookie tree too. I would say though the one turn attempt is going to be dampened quite a bit without having an accurate strong arm in the backfield. Wood Elves struggling even to find 2-die blocks on the line of scrimmage here. Let alone setting up for the one turn, but they figure it out. Not the greatest one-turn defense setup from the Norse. I think they're being a little bit conservative here. This is the first game of the season. I'm okay with a little bit of not, you're not certain if your opponent can do the one turn or not, if they even attempt it. But after the first couple weeks, you should know your opponent. You should know if your opponent is the kind of coach to go for a one-turn attempt. And you should have a one-turn defense planned where, yes, you may risk some of your players, but shutting down the one turn is more important. And this one could have been shut down had he positioned a little bit more aggressively. Either way, though, the push is not found. A knockdown is instead, and that results in a knocked out Norseman. But guess what? All the knockouts come back. And I believe we are looking at 11 on 8. 11 on 9? There was a bench for the Wood Elves, so yes. 11 on 9. So in the Wood Elves position, you're kind of in a catch-22. You have to ask yourself, can you reliably score fast? Probably. Is it worth scoring fast just to end up losing the game 2-1? Probably not. Is it worth stalling for a tie? Equally potentially bad. So what you want to do when you're not sure is set up for both situations, right? So give yourself the option of scoring quickly as soon as you can no longer protect the ball. But at the same time, you're going to be playing to try and get some removals to better allow yourself the chance at scoring quick and then going for a 2-1 win yourself. And then stalling out if you just don't get the removals. But we do finally see a second Norseman go down. The Wood Elves are starting to punch back. Again, really targeting these Agility 4 pieces. It's almost as if Arkangell is like, hey, I'm the only Agi 4 team in this league, or in this division, so you need to, not be Norse with Agi 4. And I'm going to kill all your Agi 4 players. There's a good scoring threat. Don't like all these extra dice, though. Trying to get him out of the range of some of these players, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. Right now, the only tackle player on the pitch for the Norsemen is Ulfwarner, who's in no man's land. When you have a limited amount of tackle players, try and keep them in the center of the pitch. Of course, they set up for the 3-die block, and they do find a pal. And that scoring threat is down. We will not be seeing the score next turn. 30 players coming back to get a foul next turn. Let's see how badly the Wood Elves want to try and stop that. And a KO right back onto the Elves. Do find a POW with our blitz. Mighty Blow does nothing. Agi7 too strong. Or sorry, AV7 too strong. Ball is now caged up at midfield. And we send up a second scoring threat on our other catcher. Possibly a third scoring threat on this far side from the lineman. Jump up block. Finds a 2-die. Just a push. But he has a follow-up because of Frenzy. And again, a push saved by dodge. But he gets another follow-up block. And finds a POW on the All-Foreigner. The Rotoscara goes around the back to base both parts of the cage that are still intact. And takes the blitz on the ball with the 1-die, gets the knockdown. And the ball scatters towards the Norseman, who fails the catch. And again scatters further out to the back, but is based by a blodge player. We do see the Norse in their turn with another dirty player foul. This one will be a send-off, but it doesn't matter. It's another casualty. 4 for 4 on casualties. Miss next game. And finally, Awen Lars is sent off. The refs have decided that is far too much murder and mayhem for one player and one game. No more. 4 casualties and a KO. God, I wish fouls were tracked in the client statistics. This guy is on a tear. Yeah, Dirty Player's great, but it doesn't do that great. Same with Mighty Blow. Like, Mighty Blow is good, and it certainly helps with the removal game. But it shouldn't ever be that good, and sometimes it is. The elves are tired of waiting around. Oh no, the Disturbing Presence gets them. That was entirely a Disturbing Presence mental error. The elves are tired of screwing around. They go to pick up the ball. They pick up the ball in a tackle zone. They dodge back out. The War Dancer goes to make a normally 2+ pass to the lineman who would have a 3+ catch because he was based by a Norseman. But didn't realize he was in the Disturbing Presence range of the Yeti. Fails the pass because of the Yeti. And the Norse swing right back with a blitz onto the catcher. Finding an agility break onto the blodge catcher. No tackle required. That catcher is now basically dog food with that agility bust. And this team is just not having a good day. Arguably, they just lost a catcher and a thrower, both of which had some development. The thrower is going to be the most painful one, though, with the strong arm and accurate. You could make the argument for a strength 2 thrower on the Wood Elf team being somewhat okay, but the reality is you've already got other strength 2 players. And, yeah, I think he should be fired. 20 SPP or not. Double or not. So the elves now are really desperate, in a desperate position. They were kind of desperate before, and they made some desperate plays, and that didn't work out. Now the elves, in their desperation, are making a 1-die blitz with the War Dancer. Finds the knockdown with Mighty Blow. Will it do a thing? Does not do a thing. But he is able to recover the ball. And is now a sidestepper on the sideline. Walks backwards. Fails the second GFI. Re-rolls it and makes it again. I almost would have preferred him moving closer to the end zone instead of further away from it. Because he's got really no protection from his team. And a couple elves do try to dodge to get over to the ball, but unfortunately tackle does a thing. This tackle All-Foreigner, I poo-pooed it, but man, it is doing stuff. Norse are completely surrounding this War Dancer. Sidestep or not, we're going to get frenzies in the 2 dies. 3 dies, rather. And they do find the POW and the knockout. And then there were 5. And the Ulfrunner that makes the blitz catches the ball as well. This is looking like a very, very clean 2-0 win for the Norse Unleashed. Seeing as there's only one player on the pitch with block for the Wood Elves, and another injury. Celeborn also missed next game. Some brutal, brutal games to start out the new season. Now 4 elves on the pitch. They are blitzing an Ulfwarner. 1 and 9 the block. They do not elect to re-roll it. You get a follow-up block with another lineman. Just a push. And this Ulfwarner is just going to hang on the ball himself and go and score. Can't help but feel bad for these Wood Elves, though. The fouls, man, they are just too much. Yeti decides he's once in the action. He does make the blitz himself. Just a push because of the dodge. And he does push him into an Ulfwarner, who can then get follow-up blocks himself. And finds the knockdown, but just a stun. Elves turn 14. They immediately go for the dodge and are blitzing the corner of the cage. They find the knockdown onto Mace Inu. And don't appear to be wanting to base the ball. They just want to knock the corner of the cage over and kind of apply a little pressure, but not too much. This Ulfwarner is break tackle as well, so just marking him isn't really exactly going to be a whole lot of a deal for him. Yeah, I can tell. It's not the biggest elf fan club in the stream today, and that's okay. I think there's plenty of justifiable reasons to hate elves. Especially that 4-1 victory against Khemri. We are leaving a corner of the cage off. If the elf wants to throw a bunch of dice, there is a way to probably get a 2-die here. Or a 1-die. We see another Yeti blitz. And dodge saves him. Yeti sitting at 28 out of 31 SPP. Is a Mighty Blow Juggernaut Yeti. And the blitz just goes on to Han Swallow, the Berserker. No damage, though. And the elves are resigned to their fate. They are retreating from this fight. And I think this will be the last one for me. Yeah, we're closing in on 5 o'clock. On Swallow does get some vengeance in the form of an armor break on the stun onto Durzo. And the Yeti blitz onto the guard Niggled Elf. Doesn't find purchase. Just a couple dodge and push. And again, over caging and protecting this ball. final blitz out of the Wood Elves onto the Ulfordner. Doesn't find a knockdown. And that's probably going to do it with just the touchdown here being the last action. No, a little bit of greed coming out of the Norse. And it's not punished, but it is just a simple 2-die block with the Ulfordner. Gets the stun, and then that will be the game. Rodosukara. A little bit fast and loose in the first half, but the attrition that he did from his dirty player easily won him this game. Condolences to the Arkangell's will. Lost their thrower and arguably one of their catchers. That was a big loss there and big result. 17 armor breaks on 38 blocks, but really the damage was done on the fouls. God, I wish there was foul stats. So useful. But a very dominating performance out of the Norse in Division 7. So, folks, that is going to do it for me today. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I will be doing my recap. I think that's the one I like better. Yeah, the recap will be tomorrow with Rumblebee. We'll go through Divisions 1 through 3, talk about each and every one of the teams, make our predictions for who is going to win the division playoff spots, which will be extremely hard and, frankly, just names out of a hat at this point for a couple of those divisions. Division 1's a little bit easier because they have 5 spots. I know the teams all very, very well. Yeah. And then we will resume our regular broadcast schedule of Wednesday or Thursday recaps with Rumblebee when he's available. When he's not available, I'm just going to do them this season and get guest hosts and be more consistent. Additionally, and I don't know if any of you caught this in the title of the stream, the REL Crusade, as I'm calling it. I will be trying to stream as many Division 1 through 3 matches as I possibly can that are not streamed by another streamer. So look for more Rebel REL action here on my channel. And thank you so much for watching. Thanks for following. I do actually think I have a list of people that actually followed me today. Almost like a real streamer where I can say thank you to people. Let me see if I've got that. Or was that just fake news? Possibly fake. Looking like fake news. Alright, fake news. From memory, it was CheeseX and the Red Joker, and there was one more follower. I forget who you are. Sorry. But thank you so much to all of you that followed. I will catch you guys next time. Have a good night. And a happy 4th of July.